Hello and welcome back to my channel, and today we're taking a look at another Ubisoft title which we tried with a 1080 Ti back in a day in full HD, and oh wow, this is something else. Now this is the good old Watch Dogs Legion, the game that was released in 2020, highly hyped up, a lot of marketing, a lot of noise. And as you know, there's a good old saying, the empty barrel will sound all the way down. Now, when this game came out, there were some interesting topics about the game's performance, and well, since I had 1080 Ti at the time, I thought, well, you need a better GPU. Now, my rig has changed. Well, to be fair, it's not even the same rig anymore, but we do have 4070 Ti, 32 gigs of RAM, and you know, all the bells and whistles, NVMe drive, stuff like that. Also, surprisingly enough, freshly reinstalled Windows for reasons that, well, I just felt like it. That's not the point. The point is here. When this game launched, the minimum requirement for game to run was supposedly a GeForce 970 and a 6050. Now, for those who are in the know, you know that is very low requirements for an open world title as Watch Dogs are. So we're talking Ubisoft games with an open world, so Assassin's Creed, Origins, Odyssey, and everything of the sort. The recommended GPU for this game is 1060 or 1060 60S. Okay, so that's essentially 6 and 8 gigabyte cards. Very entry level cards. This is like the bottom of the entry level of an Nvidia lineup when it comes to it. Not even a 2070, nothing like that. And you know, granted, for 2020, reasonable, but oh my dear lord, I was not prepared for this. So let's have a look at the settings here. So we do have 4070 Ti. The game luckily recognizes it. We're going with a full screen 4K. No vertical sync, no frame limit, and here's the thing that Ubisoft sells as a bug, but it's a feature. The field of view is 70, and as you can see here, it says above 70 may result in lower frame rate and some graphical issues. No. We could not address these issues during the development process of the game. Just don't touch it. You know, just leave that setting where it is. And when we go for the quality, so this is, we're gonna run two benchmarks, one with DirectX 11, one with DirectX 12, and also with ray tracing on and off. And honestly, I'm willing to bet you money to see the difference in performance, because I can tell you what the performance is, right? So you don't even waste your time of watching the rest of the video. The performance is 5 to 8 frames, okay? It's mad. I knew Ubisoft is not taking care of their customers. I know they are coding, you know, weirdest way humans know how to code. I think they just throw a ball on a keyboard from a moving train, and whatever it hits, it goes. It just gets compiled in a mess it is. I have no words. Like, I've seen some Ubisoft titles. We've seen some terrible performance from those games, but wow. This game was supposedly built from ground up. Ubisoft words, not mine. Don't take my word for it, go Google it. However, the quality settings page seems very surprisingly identical to Watch Dogs and Watch Dogs 2 specifically. Because why the hell would you outline headlight shadows for the number of cars that you can fine-tune? Like, what is this setting even for? So what we're gonna do, we're going with a supposedly a custom setting, and here's a fun fact. If you switch it to DirectX 12, it's an ultra settings. If you switch it over to DirectX 11, it becomes a custom setting. Go riddle me that. Outside of that, we're maxing everything as we can, apart from the headlight shadows, because I mean, it's just ridiculous to begin with. All the reflections, everything is as it is. A little tiny detail, however, is the ray tracing. Obviously, DirectX 11 does not support ray tracing. However, they managed to cram in DLSS support for it. I mean, it's kind of weird, but okay. extra details are at 0 because there are no extra details in this game. It literally looks exactly how it looks. I honestly don't even know why this setting exists. It does nothing. Optimization wise, well, temporal upscaling is at 100%, so we're not downscaling the current output, which is 4K native. Now, granted, maybe we could squeeze out some weird performance with this, but I do not know. So what we're gonna do, sorry, image is just these settings, it's nothing for us to change. We're gonna run a benchmark for DirectX 11, everything maxed out. And please do keep an eye on the GPU usage on upper corner here, right here. Actually put the GPU usage, like the workload and the GPU memory. RAM is here, frames are here, CPU usage across all 6 cores is over here. Pay close attention, we're gonna come to this later on. So let's run DirectX 11. Oh my goodness. I mean, I've seen stuff in my life. I've benchmarked games. You guys been with me through this journey and wow, this takes the cake. And this is DirectX 11. You can honestly, at this point, you can start making a list of DirectX 11 games that runs perfectly fine. Even older titles, even new titles. So what are we greeted with? Barely 60 frames, GPU usage, there we go, 87%, 88%. The moment GPU workload drops, we're losing frames. And this was exactly the same issue with the 1080 Ti and a 2070 and Full HD and 2K. It simply did not matter what we're doing. We're pulling 10 gigs of video memory and 11 gigs of actual RAM. And this is what we get. This is what we get, people. I mean, it's inexcusable with sub 60 right now. Okay, so let's wait until the benchmark finishes. There's not too much left in it. I'm still trying to digest my previous benchmark runs because I thought something's off with this game. You know, I thought maybe I need to, you know, restart the PC, restart the game for it to kind of apply the settings. Not the first time we've seen such a method for the Ubisoft titles, but this is just terrible. It's... I have no idea. The frame time is minimum at 14 milliseconds. It never goes down. A Warzone Modern Warfare 2 in 4K Ultra, everything maxed out, gives us 7 and 8 and 9. Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Origin gives us 8, 9. We're at 20 milliseconds now. What's going on?
Let's find them straight away.
Let's find them straight away. Great. So here we see how many frames are rendered. We can see all the drops that happened. And honestly, there's more drops than actual above 60 frames, which is quite funny. Now here's the thing. If we go to the impact tab, and this is where Ubisoft probably just left a dev option in, we can see what things are being utilized the more for which part. So either the video memory, the GPU itself, or the CPU workload. How the hell texture resolution and shadows can be taxing out your CPU if that is purely a GPU task? But no, texture resolution, GPU is one cubicle. CPU, however, well, you better be running overtime here. Same for the shadows. It's a rendered scene, it's a rendered asset with a geometry. Nope, CPU is gonna be pegged out as well. Oh my dear lord. So what do we get? End of the day, average frames, apparently 60, maximum frames at 100, minimum frames at 14. And this is DirectX 11 with no ray tracing. How do you guys think what we're gonna get on DirectX 12 with ray tracing turned on? No DLSS. Let's go take a look. And here we are with the DirectX 12 API. And yeah, I'm gonna just show you some interesting things here. If you've never benchmarked a Ubisoft title before and you think, oh, how hard it is, you just set a preset and away you go. Well, I wish it was that easy. So we are DirectX 12. We are on ultra quality. So I'm going to show you real quick a funny thing that happens, right? So if we go all the way down and I want to enable ray tracing, and the fun fact is, it was enabled. You see this DLSS stuff? I'm not touching it. It changes automatically to quality. Do you see where I'm going with this? And there's no difference between high or ultra. The game does not ask me to apply the settings, and this is exactly what I'm talking about, that the game engine is not being instructed, in my opinion, to actually apply any of these settings. Because every time, I have not yet seen a game outside of Ubisoft that where you change the ray traced reflection level, it does not ask you to apply the setting, so it can actually apply the ray tracing for the objects, because it actually changes the way how much ray tracing you're gonna get in any given scene. Also, the fact itself that DLSS automatically enables on quality, it's I mean, your recommended GPU is not even an RTX card. Why are you doing this? Maybe it's, you know, for the, if someone wants to go for ultra ray traced reflections, fair enough. You know what? I'm not gonna fight with them. Everything else is on ultra. Let's run a benchmark and let's see what happens now, because oh, we're gonna go for a ride here, guys. Like this is out of a fairy tale book. Let's play a game. Spot a difference in performance. Since now we have gotten out of the DLSS shenanigans. Look at the GPU usage. It's finally where we want it to be, and with ray tracing on ultra, it's at 37 frames. 36. Fair enough. Right? The game does look good. It is reflection, and honestly, it actually feels more smooth. Now here's the fun thing. We're gonna stop this benchmark here so I don't waste your time with this, because it's consistent throughout it. Now watch this. And this is important for those who are trying to max this game out. We're gonna enable the DLSS on the same quality, nothing changes. Now watch the GPU usage. Supposedly DLSS quality usually drops down the resolution to 2K and then upscales back to 4K with give or take some ray tracing, giving an extra workload for the GPU. As you saw, even if you change the settings, you don't have an option to apply them. And what do we have here? GPU usage, boom, instantly down to 86%. We're pulling slightly more frames, which is 4850. The game still looks wet. All the reflections are still there. As you can see, the guys are reflecting in a puddle nicely. But the difference is that in comparison to DirectX 11 on Ultra, with no DLSS and no ray tracing, is giving us exactly the same performance as with ray tracing on Ultra but DLSS on quality, with GPU usage being jumped up and down from 99 to 80 and so on and so forth. I'm just so clueless. Like 95%, why would you drop down GPU usage 93, 94, 91 in a well-lit scene with a lot of reflections going on? All these metallic canisters, all of this is trying to ray trace. Somehow the GPU usage goes down, the more workload it's supposed to get. Like, what? Can someone explain this sorcery to me? And as I said, we had these same results. Okay, we had exactly the same results with different GPUs, with a completely different system, different CPUs, different hardware, different SSD, different GPU, different motherboard and RAM. I mean, how is that? Is this something Ubisoft's been working on, to basically just find a setting that works exactly the same across multiple systems? I don't know, guys. You know, I do not know. You know what? How about we just go to the options, we go to the video, we're gonna auto detect stuff. Look at this. It automatically detected the best settings for us. So I'm not gonna change anything. Let's just have a quick glance. Everything's set on ultra. 2 cars, okay, depth of field, fair enough. Subsurface scattering, fair enough. DLSS is off, ray tracing is off. So this is by auto detect. So I'm imagining in my monkey brain it's reading off what graphics adapter we have, because that should actually matter the most. I guess not. No extra details. Okay, fair enough. Let's start the campaign, see where we... Oh, we can continue. Perfect, let's continue it. Let's see where we end up and with what frames. I know that synthetic benchmarks usually lie to people, like, oh, you know, Adjust some settings, and then at least you can kind of, you know, it's a little white lies. If you adjust so the synthetic benchmark runs at 60 frames, your game will definitely run at 60 frames, okay? Fair enough. It's not the case in Ubisoft. It is not. So what do you have here? 63, 64. Let's have a quick stroll around here. Boom. There we are. Sub 60, essentially. Oh, I'm playing as a Mario. That's nice to know.
All the way done with this shit.
Oh, that's annoying.
Sub 60 again. GPU usage 95%, now it's 99, so probably it's gonna pick up the frames as well. Slowly going up, not reaching the golden standard of 60. I am so confused about all this, you know? End of the day, I'm just so confused. But you can drive electric cars, so that's good, I guess.
Security has reduced criminality by up to 30%.
It does accelerate like Tesla a little bit, so I know I'm not even mad about it. 48 frames. 50. You see where I'm going with this? How is this game playable? Also, fun fact, this game is currently very heavily discounted on both Ubisoft Disconnect and Steam. It goes for about £7.5, which I do believe is about $8 now, which I think is the price this game should be launched with. 79%. Look at the GPU usage. 83% in this scene right here. Even less. How is this not an unoptimized game engine? Like, can someone please explain me this magic? By no means I can tell you this is playable. Like, I can play it if my life depends on it, but outside of that, I'm no. This is not playable at all. This is terrible. This is painful. Even Cyberpunk runs better than this, and hell, it actually looks better, to be fair. I would say, I would almost with confidence say it's actually a better game. I mean, granted, Ubisoft tried to squeeze out something that they have never done before, which is an actual functional game, at least in 2020-ish. Right, where are we? The hell? Oh, we're slightly on a different bridge. Fair enough. But yeah, I mean, they tried, and after all these years, all of these years, nothing has changed. I mean, I don't even know how to feel about it, really. I'm actually a little bit impressed that after years of this game being out, it still runs exactly like it does now. I think that's an achievement by itself, really, when you think about it. Also, it kind of sounds like that some cats are trying to figure out what to do with their lives. Anyway, we're gonna go here and have a look at the Big Ben, which is loading in the textures as we speak. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this crap. How is this acceptable? You can actually see the border when it stops drawing the objects. I think this is actually the problem. So remember Horizon Zero Dawn, when it launched on PS4, they had to do some trickery, so only the things in a player's viewpoint, which is what you see on the screen right now, would be rendered. Nothing outside of that would be rendered due to the implications and the limits of the PS4 video RAM. However, we're not limited to that on a PC. But this draw distance is clearly proving the point. So yeah, I mean, I had very, very low expectations about this game, but damn, I could have not thought, even for a second, it's still in this state. I thought it's gonna be, you know, hard to run. I was absolutely prepared to have like 65, 60-ish, you know, frames at all times, despite what settings we're playing on. You know, RTX on off would be about 45, 50, but we're not even getting a stable 60. I mean, why is it always I see a game that is unable to hold the frame rate? It's a Ubisoft title. I'm kind of getting a little bit, you know, tired of this running scheme, because and I know this is an old game, it's 3 years old. But in 3 years, I mean, goddamn, come on, 3 years is enough to patch the game. I've seen some benchmarks, I've seen some people playing this game with a 1490, 4K Ultra, and granted, those GPUs are pushing through and past the boundaries at the same time. It's not really that much off 60 frames, to be fair. Mostly it's about 70, 80-ish, and then it just slightly dips. But that is just pure raw processing power of those GPUs, which, granted, 4070 Ti is not even in the same ballpark. But even with the glorious DLSS saving the day, what we're getting? This? Pathetic. So let's go on Ultra Performance again. Nothing to do here. GPU usage has dropped to 53%, and at least now we're finally... and we're below 60 again. I think this game's implementation of a lot of things is just broken beyond repair. Look at this crap. Look, just watch. 52% of GPU usage, 57 frames. We're pulling 10 gigs of video memory nevertheless, 13 gigs of actual RAM. We just gained frames by briefly stepping out of the vehicle. Go figure. Go figure. But yeah, this is what I wanted to show you guys. I wouldn't even call this a benchmark, it's just... I would call it state of a certain game from Ubisoft in 2023. Same old, nothing's different, just same old. Sad. A little bit sad. But hey, at least it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg. That gotta count for something. Right? Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for watching. And I hope you enjoyed it. Over and out.